Hello bibliophiles, and welcome to Hot Dog Girl To Be Continued. Now this is a video series in which I will be talking about books that I just made videos on in more depth and including spoilers for those of you who have read the book or those of you who don't mind spoilers, as I didn't want to ruin the book for anyone who hasn't read it yet. So the first thing I would like to say while starting, as this is my first video in this To Be Continued series, is that I will not be scripting these videos unlike I have been doing for my regular videos. And I was considering leaving these videos unedited, but I have a feeling that that would be a bad idea, as I do tend to make really long pauses and trip over my words quite a bit, and I'm sure you wouldn't really want to see that. So, in my last video, which if you haven't seen, the link will be in the description below, was on Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. And I wanted to talk about these things in that video, but as I said, I want to avoid spoiling the book for people who haven't read it, so this is why I created this series. The three things that I would like to talk about in this video are the relationship between Liu and Seeley and how it develops, the relationship between Liu and Nick and how that develops, and just Jessa as a character in general. So first of all, with Liu and Seeley, I did completely call that they were going to end up together. It was quite obvious that Seeley was in love with Liu the whole time and Liu just wasn't seeing it, but as I explained in my last video, I think that the author wanted it to be that way so that the reader could see that everyone is blinded by their emotions at some point and won't see what's right in front of them. I did, however, find the fact that Liu used Seeley to try to get into a relationship with Nick as a strange plot aspect. Even some of the characters within the book didn't understand how that was going to work. I feel that it was kind of insensitive of Liu because she did say that Seeley was her best friend, and I really don't think that you would pretend to date your best friend just so that you could date someone else. I don't see how dating one person is going to make someone else want to date you. The two just don't really seem to add up in my mind. But again, character flaws are good, I guess, to an extent. I feel like she could have gone about it in a better way and it would have been more thoughtful. Not really sure how I felt about Liu and Seeley ending up together in the end, because in my mind it kind of gets rid of the importance of having a good friendship. That's kind of a problem that I see with society, is that people aren't really making friends and they're just focusing on relationships, and so in the end, what happens when Seeley and Liu break up? She both would lose a girlfriend and a best friend at the same time, so that's why I feel that friendships and love life should be kind of separated in that aspect. But that does lead me on to start talking about the relationship between Liu and Nick. So Liu was completely obsessed with Nick the whole time, and she was just, yes, oh my gosh, Nick, he's this great guy, he's a swimmer, he's a diver, and he's perfect. And they had a moment in a rainy night in a car. Seemed a little bit odd that she wouldn't have realized that Nick liked her at that point. But I personally like the way that Liu and Nick's relationship ended up, where Liu realized that, maybe it's better to be friends just because, oh, they're both sad and lonely, they should just be friends. Even though technically Liu is better being friends with Nick because she realizes that she's in love with Seeley. It's a complicated thing, everything is connected, but I do like the fact that she did realize that friendship can be good as well. So Jessa was a very interesting character, and it turns out that Seeley and Liu together find out that Jessa is cheating on Nick the entire time with the boy Ari, who was the prince to Jessa's princess at the amusement park, and that was something I actually noticed in the book. If you look at the back of the book and see this, there's actually a picture of Jessa and Ari kissing behind one of the attractions. So for anybody who reads the About the Author section, they would have seen this and saw this coming, which is something that I did. So personally, I kind of figured most of the stuff out before it happened anyways, but I probably wouldn't have seen that coming. So bad cover design, maybe not bad cover design, but poor placement, maybe make it a little less obvious. because some people do value reading the author's information on the back of the book. But overall, those are the 3 things I really wanted to talk about. If you want to hear more about this book, you can DM me on my Instagram, which is @officialbibliophile, which will also be linked in this video description, and I would be very happy to discuss further with anyone who wants to. So that is all for my unscripted to be continued video. I'm trying to keep editing down to as minimal as possible, so hopefully I'll get more comfortable talking to the camera, and I don't expect very many people to be watching this particular video on my channel, or this particular video series on my channel, because I understand that most people probably don't want to hear spoilers before they've read the book. So for those of you who have watched this video, I really appreciate it. So please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated when I post a new video. And feel free to leave a comment about books that you would like to hear me talk about. And that's all for this video. Thank you. Bye!